My name's Rhaps Teak. His name's Sneaky, and this is Rhaps Teak. Take a peek. How you doing, Rhaps?
Doing quite well.
Rhaps, wait, no, you're Sneaky. I'm
yeah,
Rhapsody.
there's no Rhaps in my name. It's all Sneaky.
Sneaky, yeah.
How
this
are you
week,
doing, Rhaps?
I'm doing good, Sneaky. This week, I usually do this in the intro, but last week I realized that it felt weird to not say hi before I read about the game. So I think I'm gonna say hi, and then I'll read about the game.
Hi, why don't you tell us about the game?
This week, Sneaky, we're playing Goblin Stone, a game described thusly on the Steam page. Over-adventuring has wiped out 90% of the goblins in the wild. Lead these goblins in a desperate struggle, presumably the 10% who aren't wiped out, not the 90% of zombies. Lead these goblins in a desperate struggle to reverse their fate through this turn-based RPG crafted in charming, hand-drawn 2D style. That's the game, and that is all I know. They contacted me at some point too. I have heard it described as having some similarities to Darkest Dungeon, if instead it were much more calm and charming, and I like that. So let's see what it has.
Let's definitely.
What you got?
Ooh. Directly behind you, we have the new story options, as per the usual. Oh, wow. Options defaulted to low on my side. Strange. Yeah, not many options in here. Just got kind of the standards.
Pretty bare bones. And it's still early access, no?
Yes, this is not yet released to the public.
This is like demo.
In fact, it's about to tell us this game is in development. You're about to play a demo version with limited playability. Some features will not be accessible as we are still working on the game. The complete experience awaits you in the early access version. Peons contribute additional inventory slots to the group during adventures.
Right.
Would you like to take this task?
Sure. New quest. Return home. After a long journey abroad, your company of goblins have finally returned to their homeland. Guide them safely to their lair.
Okay, so we have a couple interactable elements on the screen that have come up. We've got the adventuring party down here in the center. Whoop, pulls up a full stat screen, all right.
I full screen this time. I usually actually play in a window, but I want to see all this since there's so much small text UI. Okay, so the adventure party, you got to this by clicking into one of the goblins?
Yep.
Or was it the... Okay. Here you can manage your party. You can see each goblin's stats, ability, and equipment. You can also reorder their combat positions. Right now there's 4 of them. It looks like there's space for maybe 6.
Does seem like there is a full space for 6. We have Roselunga, Slam Caller, Life Pauper, and Bangy Yawner. Or Bang Yawner, sorry.
These names are great.
They're super kind of like, goblin just named themselves kind of situation. Slam Caller. Okay, I'm going to take Roselunga and Slam Caller. We can see the max life is 26, kind of self-explanatory there. Power, the effectiveness when this character attacks. Power is derived from the weapon that you're holding and may be modified by other bonuses. Crit, chance to do double damage. Crit gets lower for each adventure as the goblin goes on. Interesting. So rested goblins are better at critting.
That kind of makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
We also have armor, the effectiveness of the character when it gains defense against physical damage as well as resistance, the effectiveness of the character when it defends against magical damage.
Stock standard RPG stat line.
The base for this peon is just having fists, which are equipped, does +5 power, and gives you a smack, which I imagine is an ability.
Please do not dequip the fists.
We could try. Okay, apparently we cannot dequip them. Dang. The smack is a level 1 weapon ability, an unarmed attack causing 5 damage. That looks like the weapon contributes cards to your deck, kind of similar to a system we might think of from Gilded Dungeoneering, maybe?
Right.
And then we have base ability, Stone Throw. It's a physical attack, throws a stone at an enemy inflicting stun, and 3 damage, can only target enemies in the back.
Oh,
got
wow.
A lot more
Here's
stuff here on
our
Slam
mage.
Caller.
Well, no, but these aren't mage abilities. They have a lot of abilities, but these are actually weapon abilities, right? First Blood, Wakey Wakey, Blood Rupture, Execution. This is an assassin.
Chiseled crude stick. It's 6, but it also looks like... So it looks like the weapon defines the class. Because here we have fists, and the fists say fists classes nothing. Or no, maybe it's just the weapon can only be used by certain classes.
Yeah, because this is Raider, right? And the other one says Peon.
So, +6 power, slash, attack with your sword, and deal 6 damage. There's a 20% chance to bleed. That's the slash that we just mentioned prior. First blood, if the enemy is undamaged, inflict 2 bleed and attack. Don't necessarily know the keyword effect of bleed just yet. If the enemy is stunned, Wakey Wakey will deal a flurry of attacks for 27 damage and knockback. Blood Rupture, if the enemy is bleeding, remove bleed and deal 10 damage, plus 200% of any undealt bleed. And then finally, Execution here. If the enemy has less than 30% life, unleash a devastating attack, dealing 17 damage.
The rift between the Peon and an actual landed class is massive. Yeah, they are not close in power level, and I don't know if that's always true or if that one has more stats, but it seems like it's not close. Another Peon and another Raider.
Peon and another Raider. Okay, so I accidentally took all of them because that kind of simplifies down. Outfit doesn't look like we can operate with at the moment. Genes, though, we can. Looks like there is a lineage kind of situation. So you have the ability to play kind of like a little bit of a what is it? Like what's like a
Rogue Legacy?
Yeah, kind of like a Rogue Legacy a little bit, right?
Yeah. Oh, but there's not a parent system there. That's more like the Fire Emblem game where they started getting lineage, or there's something. It's like Chalice or Massive.
Might be Massive Chalice.
Massive Chalice is Massive Chalice. Massive Chalice has a lineage system, right?
That's a game that I'm aware of. I don't know if it has specifically a lineage system. One thing I will do is actually I'm going to turn that quality all the way back down. It's been making the PC chug a fair decent amount, I actually think, through the recording there.
It still looks great. I mean, it's storybook, right? Like, that's part of the thing.
Ooh. Okay, so hang on. I will also even go and put the sound up a little because it looks like there is a narrator who's going to be interrupting occasionally.
Oh, good.
The scent of danger lingers heavy.
The scent of danger lingers heavy, it said. I'm repeating them for Teak's sake.
I can read it. It's all good. I went and listened to the narrator beforehand. And they have quite the soothing... What did you say? This is a narrator who will be very good at delivering the moral of the story to us?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm excited to hear the goblin's moral.
Have that in mind next time you hear the line, those of you in the viewing audience. I guarantee it sounds exactly like that. Find the goblin lair, and I'm also just quickly going through all of the interactable elements because it feels like in a game like this, knowing the basis of those before we go into a fight is probably going to be a reasonable approach. There are 2 elements that are behind you on a normal screen, but not right now as we're looking at the quest log. Return home. After a long journey abroad, your company of goblins have finally returned to the homeland. Guide them safely to their lair. Rewards with gold. 200 gold by itself, as well as a gold bag. Its value will be added to your gold at the end of adventure.
Okay.
Strange. And then we can see available resources, poor, scattered enemies, few, and then we can see the location type. So these would be, all of the different things that we would see as we choose a mission in the future.
Right now we only have the one, but eventually mission selection.
Ooh.
Okay.
I do not appear to be... Oh, there we go. I clicked on that a few times, I thought, but I've managed to leave the screen now. This feature is still in development, but we have an inventory, which is a little bit hid behind Teak at the moment, but the inventory is also empty. Beautiful. Again, I will hasten to add that this game is like...
An adventurer rests. Quietly they sneak.
Ooh. I can smell the tweed on that voice. I can frankly... I'm not synesthetic in any way, but it's just strong.
Oh, man. It is charming, isn't it? The little walk of the gobos.
Mm-hmm.
Caught off guard. Braces for battle.
Oh, we have another goblin that we might be able to save here.
Mm-hmm. And the sound effects as everything was flying into the screen were really, really nice. Combat.
Premium.
Combat is turn-based. Everyone falls in line to attack. Kill the enemies to win the battle. Everyone will move to the center along this time bar. So this is our priority system, I imagine. When a character reaches the middle, its turn starts.
So the arrow was pointing towards the center of the bar on the right, and that made me think that they were moving towards the center of their bars, but it means the center of the screen. I was very confused for like a half a second, and then I just waited and listened, and it made sense.
Oh! Oh wow! This is like a combined system between a couple different things we'd be playing, or I played recently. The Absolute List. Did you play any other side?
No, I have not. In fact,
Yeah.
have I seen it? Have I seen it?
It's you'd probably remember its styling. It's very, very heavy contrast. Like it's blacks and
It's other
whites
side with the
and
C,
red
right?
isn't off. Yes, other side with
Like
the C
side,
is
like
killing.
killing.
Others. Yes.
Yeah. You know what? I remember talking to you about this game, but I have not seen it or played it.
It had a similar kind of system of all of your different actions are a time cost away from the next action being taken.
Yeah.
Just brings that immediately to mind. This one says
I like
there's
these
no
systems a lot.
balance. You know what I mean?
I feel like there's more games recently that are, because it's not a new mechanical line, but it's just how do you, this looks like a fighting game in a way, right? Like having the bars up top almost looks like a fighting game, except that would usually be health. And so I quite like that UI. The last spell, you know, you're using effectively time for actions. You have a few resources. All right, let's mess this guy up.
Yeah, let's do we want to deal 10 damage, 20% chance to inflict bleed, or first blood, which is, hang on, if the enemy is undamaged, inflict bleed and deal 2 damage. Why would that be better than, oh right, because it guaranteed bleed?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why.
Looks like behind you, although the portraits are the only thing that are really like behind our body at the moment, we kind of made sure to check that. Behind you, we can see the little portrait for the fighter there, as well as their armor and resist.
Which is 0. So if we can find a mage. Oh, cute. They actually cycle when they move.
Ooh.
So what does
Okay.
knockback do?
Would you like to take this?
Sure, tired. One of your goblins is tired. This happens after using an expensive ability. Apparently 30 is expensive. Tired goblins take more damage. But he's also at the back of the line. So maybe safe? We'll see.
Maybe. We have another move before the enemy gets their next action. Let's just throw out the smack, the only thing we can do. Oh, we can also have a look at their debuffs here. So, bleeding suffers 12 physical damage over 50 time units.
It's interesting. Is the time bar like compressed towards the end? Is each notch 10? No, each notch is 5 based on that.
Yeah, so it's
Okay.
compressed towards the outside, right? Because this is 50 and
Yeah.
this is 20.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Blood
Oh,
rupture.
yeah, we could blood rupture. Nice.
If the enemy is bleeding, remove bleed, deal 10 damage, plus 200% of any undealt bleed damage. So that would be 10 and would be 24.
Do it. Give him the sauce. And you'll have a peon up front to take the hit. Oh, never mind.
Quarry watches you from behind iron
Because we
armor.
blew up the bleed so soon. Oop.
Another
Why does that
one
always
joins
happen
their
when we work
company.
together? I like don't sneeze
This
for
fellow
days,
is
and then
clad in
I'm
armor.
the only time where I don't have a mute button.
It
how you know it's
happens.
real.
It always happens.
Hachu.
One of the worst available times at the absolute least. Okay, we just picked up a guard, Tolminter, who in...
Oh, I like his hat.
Can't go to the stats.
I can't see, and this is such a like. Okay, I told you. Did I talk about this even here with you? The other day, I saw this tweet of this person, and they were describing an interaction they had, and the person was like, "Wow, I really like this music. It has such Persona vibes." And then the other person responds, "Kyle, that's not Persona vibes. That's what we call jazz." And I cannot look at this hat, which is clearly, you know, a Viking-style raider helm, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what it makes me think of? Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing. That's the most memorable place with the horn helmet. Old school Animal Crossing, your character always had this look. And so I don't see Vikings. I see Animal Crossing when I look at that helmet.
I really need to get into an Animal Crossing game at some point. I think the next
It's a
release
nice
might
thing.
be...
Yeah.
If there is a next release, we're just assuming
It's
so.
just when you need it in your life. You know, it's not a game that you ever like crave. It's just a game that you appreciate.
Definitely had the kind of right time to be appreciated quite deeply. Last
We're fighting with
release.
the stool. That's very cute. But we literally eviscerated that guy, so it is cute. But I think that guy's dead.
Yeah, that guy's extremely dead, but we have a bash, intercept, rattle, and retaliate. The intercept is
Shockwave. Okay.
intercepting the next 2 target attacks of target enemy. Rattle just straight up stuns them. Retaliate.
Oh, and don't we have a stun punishing move? Wakey wakey.
We do indeed. Yeah, we have Wakey Wakey, which I think is also on a Slam Caller. Not Slam Caller, on a Raider, rather.
Raider. Yeah.
Retaliate for the next 150 time units. Attacks made against you will return 50% of the damage and stun the attacker.
That's pretty sweet. Although this is an expensive move, so it's going to make you tired. I don't get the tired thing. Like, what is it? Is it if you spend more than 20?
Yeah, I don't know, because we did 30 last time with the... which action was the 30? It was First Blood. Yeah.
First
We
Blood.
did 30 with that, and that was enough? So is it only the 20s that don't exhaust you? Do each character have different limits of how much exhausts them?
Yeah. I don't know.
Not necessarily certain.
We'll see it. We'll see it.
Let's get you in
Presumably,
front.
if we can get tired, then enemies can get tired too. And so it could, could be in our favor.
Presumably. So pop the guard out front, and then 2 units behind, as well as 2 peons very behind at the very end.
Excuse me.
They chance
So that they can set up their buff right away.
Concealed by the stench, a small trove of unclaimed meat and giblets.
Giblets.
Apparently, I'm not necessarily seeing any giblets there. I'm seeing a little bit of unclaimed meat. But the thing that comes to mind immediately is, would we not want the tank out front? Because after our first move, the unit goes to the back. So don't we want peons out front?
You want First Blood. You want the First Blood in the front, I think.
That's true.
You want to get that online immediately, and then maybe punish it immediately? And
That's what I was thinking
then
before we
tank.
got the guard.
Yeah.
But we've not seen
something
any
like this.
enemies that attack faster. Let's try this, right? Because maybe Tolminter just stuns them on the next turn, and then Slam Caller punishes the bleed.
Right. You have 2 punishable things. Man, that is just fur. There's no giblets. Okay? That looks like a blanket.
There's some marrow in the bones still, I'm certain of it.
Right. Oh, they're hugging. Good.
We got some foraging sounds there. Furs, a bristly pelt commonly obtained from the local forest, sells for 10. And gnawed bone, a partial bone with some pieces splintered off. So hey, actually their loot agrees with you. They only found gnawed bones and furs.
There is no giblets.
Leaving nothing to waste.
Nothing to waste, definitely. So that seems like our kind of curio-ish or curio-adjacent kind of system.
Whoa. Friend or foe?
Adventurers are coming after you
They
too, bud.
happen upon a downtrodden orc still clad in rags and shackles. At his feet, a freshly dug grave adorned with a bone club buried in the barrow. The goblins timorously disturb the orc in his mourning. Uneasily, they speak to him, ask about a nearby ruin in these woods. Barely noticing their presence, the orc wipes away a tear with one hand as he raises the other to give direction. Politely thanking the grieving orc, the goblins discreetly withdraw and leave him to his sorrow.
Aww.
So I was smiling not at the tragic fate of this orc, but at how charming the art was with the snot dribble coming down off the nose. Like they really captured the downtroddenness
Just
of
beyond
this individual.
an old forgotten watchtower, held fast by a great forest tree.
That honestly, like the kind of tear and snot puddles there, that was the thing that really endeared him to me, and suddenly I feel bad on his behalf.
Right.
I don't like that we're just leaving him there grieving. I kind of want to be able to solve his problem. Can we go back and take a quest from him at some point? Please?
Right, exactly. I want to take a quest.
I really like the layering of the foreground, background, mid-ground. Looks like there's kind of
Kinda
3
pop
different
through.
backgrounds.
Ooh, wow, yeah. Look at that scrollioli.
Huge.
Unfortunately, we are
Humans
forced
have
to
taken
dunk
over
you.
the road ahead will not be easy.
Ooh, there's also another goblin here for us to save. Oh! Interesting. So we don't even have the ability to use either of these. There's no targets for this enemy, no targets for this enemy.
Oh, did they not both have first blood?
They do, but we don't have all of our cards in hand. This is our hand. We draw a hand of 3.
Oh, okay. You might just not get it. Okay. Curious.
Right. That makes it less consistent, but I like it.
I like it because card game.
I won't even attack the background.
Well, it means that your decision to get Tolminter in the front too is brilliant because we're getting hit right now. Boom. Tank this.
One's on 3rd. The next 150
Stun
time
'em.
units. Attacks made against you. The Shabby Adventurer, we can't necessarily see what they're doing. Attacks made against you will return 150% of the damage. So no attacks are going to be made against us, unfortunately.
I think we should use Bash.
That seems likely. 10% chance to stun.
Come on.
Hey!
Ooh, baby. Come on, wakey wakey. Come on.
So-
Oh, dude.
How does that affect them? Do they get to their turn and then go, I can't do anything anymore? Temporarily unable to move forward on the timeline. Okay, so they don't get to their turn and then lose that whole turn. They just pause where they are.
They just stop where they are. Got it. What moves are available to us? Execution. Oh, Stone Throw lets you hit the back line. Is that the deal?
Mm-hmm. Only targets enemies at the back, but
But it can stun.
it can indeed.
Heck yeah. Nobody gets to move.
lot of
Everybody
this-
die now.
A lot of the time when I was playing Darkest Dungeon, we mentioned in the title, this is like a bit similar to it in some mechanical ways. A lot of the time when I was playing Darkest Dungeon, one of my biggest plans was stunning all of the enemies and just taking them out as quickly as possible. It's one of the most efficient things you can do, and there are a lot of different ways to try and be able to juggle it. It feels good to kind of be replicating that a little bit here. Oh, stun the back line again. There you go.
Although I will say, I'm interested to see, I've heard a few people describe it as being somewhat similar to Darkest Dungeon. This combat is at most superficially like Darkest Dungeon.
Yes.
The automatic rotation of characters is not Darkest Dungeon at all. The timeline is not Darkest Dungeon. Darkest Dungeon has true turns. Everybody gets 1 turn per turn. The randomization of abilities and the fact that everyone moves from the front, it's very different. But maybe it's like because you have a line of people and their position does make some impact, and also there's dungeon selection, I can see how that would be enough to kind of set off some alarm bells, but seems substantially different.
I agree, right? It seems like a lot of what people are thinking when they describe something as being similar to Darkest Dungeon is the visual aesthetic that we're looking at, which is there's stats at the very bottom of the screen, there's characters in a line standing against each other, and then at the very top there's some sort of a priority system. It really does feel like that is the kind of thing that is...
Top in Darkest Dungeon is Torch, actually. In
That
the
is
same
true.
space. And you know what? You know what would make a fascinating series, which I cannot do right now. You cannot let me. You have to stop me before I get too far, okay? But I'm going to nerd out for just a minute. We have already said that the top, immediately it means something to us. We see it. We see this UI of the bars and they're moving. And I said, it's like a fighting game, except that would be health. And then, but it also is a priority system, and it also could be the torch from Darkest Dungeon, which begs an interesting question. What types of UI elements are so universally meaningful that we can use them for dramatically different jobs? Because those are totally different things, but they're all represented the same way. A central icon with a bar on both sides that collapses towards the middle. That's it's like the universal language of game design, right? I bet if you started digging, you would find a lot of these UI elements that are used in very different ways, but represent the same way. And we immediately, our brain sees them and it knows something. Oh, okay, things move along that.
Yeah, definitely. It's something that is being used
That'd be cool.
quite consistently.
Probably I don't have to research that, right? Like there's classes for game design where they can talk about this thing and talk about their toolkit.
Got 10 gold
Foodstuffs.
coins, as well as foodstuffs that convert 3 food at the end of an adventure, can be used to heal goblins. I'm just taking the reading for especially the small text because I know that it's
Please.
a bit small on your
This
side.
captive is garbed in
I'm just happy to be here.
peculiar
I don't feel the need
It
to.
appears quite grateful and joins the group.
This captive is garbed in fine vestments. Here is our mage.
Yo, let's go, baby. We got casting.
You have a crude magic rock, +3 power, and Hex is attacked with your trinket and deal 3, upgrades to 5 damage there. We've got Quicken to give an ally uncanny speed. It'll move twice as fast for 15 time units. Oh, so it so 30 time units takes them 15 time units to move, right?
That's a weird exchange. You're spending 40 time. Whoever you're empowering needs to like finish the fight. That's the only situation where I can imagine that being correct.
Soul Shock shocks the enemy, dealing 5 damage and inflicting knockback. There's also a Life Shock, stun the enemy and heal it for 9 life. If the target is undead, damage it instead. And Healing Chant heals damaged allies for 6, and tired or exhausted allies for 9. That's interesting. So Skinfellow being at the very back so that we can use Healing Chant after people get exhausted or tired or damaged is definitely better. Cool.
Do you think we should eat some food on Tolminter since it seems like we're not healing up between?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do health.
Oh, it's only 2. Okay. Well, better than nothing. I guess your point is that we can, if they don't die, we'll heal them up ourselves, right? And hopefully they don't die.
It would be very mean of the game to give us like a third challenge that's quite difficult. Ooh. Does that space out to a giant vista kind of situation there?
Quietly, the goblins approach the ruins, peering from behind a bush. They watch nervously as a pair of human adventurers awkwardly stumble out of the ruins. Deeming it too dangerous to proceed, they search for a more discreet way to enter the ancient ruin.
Interesting.
We must enter discreetly.
Can we... Oh, yep, we can. Just enter straight through this door. Woo! We returned home!
We made it. Homeward bound.
So the gold bag was worth 300, and then the individual gold pieces worth exactly what they said they were.
We're rich.
Adventure spoils. So double rescue, say it'll join our lair. We'll join our lair. There's the food, so we got 12 there too. All right, cool. Goblins born with high body have more life and armor. So yeah, it is about
their way under the tree through a dark and uncomfortably narrow tunnel. They miserably crawl through the crannies until they reach the tunnel's end. Unbeknownst to the goblins, they find themselves intruding into a human-infested establishment hidden beneath the tree. The crowd scatters in a frenzy at the sight of the unexpected trespassers. As the chaos ebbs, a surly innkeeper and his flunkies are all that remain. He turns to the goblins with a baleful glare, intent on exacting retribution.
If you're intent on exacting retribution, you need to invade our tavern. That's just tit for tat right there.
Uh-oh. He's fighting with a mutton chop. That's awesome.
That's a very
Under the
stale
baleful glare.
mutton chop to be able to do that.
Oh, dude. It actually, maybe it's frozen. That'd be pretty spooky.
Definitely seems like a boss enemy of a kind. More cooks.
Too many cooks.
Ooh. Pull down another 2. They're 16. They... Okay, so their thing doesn't say like minion or anything like that. Similar.
So is this the retaliate? Do we try it here?
It does put us to the back of the line, but maybe.
No. But we're going back anyway, right?
Intercept the next two attacks of the target enemy. We could just intercept them and have the unit that is better at... Well, but... It really feels like you want to be able to play 2 of these.
I know. Yeah, and also, like, are we not going to be... Did the game overstate the importance of being tired? Because we're just going to intercept attacks while tired if this works the same as for other classes. That's a 30, right?
Maybe the other spell that we used had some text on it that said something similar to that.
Right.
If enemy is undamaged, inflict bleed and deal 2 damage. No, that's the one that made us tired.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't fully get it.
Not certain we've been given the tools to fully get that just yet. Let's just bash you. 100% chance to stun. Ah, they're not undamaged. But I guess we can throw this against Cook.
Ooh, can we hit the back line with it? Because then that's like, that's a dead enemy. Nice. Oh no, tenderized. Ooh, what's that debuff?
The tenderized debuff take 100% more damage from the innkeeper's tender smash, so it's a setup knockdown kind of situation.
We should not become tendies. Agreed.
I will attempt not to tendy.
You and... No, I can't do it. You in 10...
I intend not to become tendies. Yes, exactly.
Shut up, Teak.
It's Sneak City. Wait.
I'm
No, it's
Sneak
Rhaps
City. Yeah, Rhaps Teak.
I see. They combine so delightfully, actually. I was surprised when I was marbling that one around.
It's a good name for the old portmanteau. Yours obviously having two different sections. Rhapsody doesn't seem like it would work super well, but it does. A lot of the time.
But it does. There's Rap and Sody. And I love a good Sody. Do you want to quicken our tank, or is that dumb? Maybe we should just kill the enemy with our moves.
I'm thinking, like, what if we knock back the innkeeper? Maybe they'll be out of position for whatever they do.
Yeah.
It also seems
that
to
gives
knock
us more
them back
attacks
on
against
the
them.
On their...
Right, because that's what knockback means, right?
Oh, it does.
It's all timeline based.
Oh, but it
Because the positioning is really just a physical representation of the timeline, except that it then manifests in the tactics because you hit the frontliners with most moves. I really like this system, actually. I think it's quite clever. It's combining two things that already existed. An action economy like timeline system and positioning-based combat. But making your position in combat and your position in the timeline the same, that's clever. I don't think I've seen anything do that.
It's definitely unique. I haven't seen that before. What we did just see there, though, is Bang Yorna took an attack and then didn't go to the very back. Because we didn't just use Skim Feeler there. Right, we used some other attack afterwards. Oh, or maybe that was Life Pauper.
Skim Feeler is certainly tired. That's the debuff. I see it. I see it now.
All damage
Nice.
taken is increased
Oh,
by
it's only
10%.
10%. Okay, then we just need to not think about that so much. That seems...
Stun a damaged enemy, get stunned.
Boop.
You're never allowed to attack. You hear me?
You know, fights are easier when the enemy is not permitted to participate. I do like that.
Oh, so tender.
Tenderizing my gobos. They're all so tender. Now we just need to flour them.
Are they too tender? Are we going to take a hit? No. Stone.
Not if we have anything to say about it. Bang Yawner.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
Life Pauper
Wait,
is going to get to the front here.
what's happening here? Why are we not permitted to use these moves? Because
No valid
we're
targets.
not permitted to use
No
these
valid
moves.
targets. Yeah.
I see.
So
They're
low
specifically-
HP or undamaged.
I see. Execution, we haven't managed to land. Ooh, we haven't managed to land yet, right?
Not yet. It'd be a really neat way to finish this fight if we get it, though. So again,
Can
you
we
are...
stone throw at the front?
12, 15. Can we stone throw at the front? No, we cannot. Only targets enemies at the back.
Okay.
So this unit, the Cook A, you are where on the list?
It's Kuka.
Sorry, Cooker. Yeah, because the other one doesn't even have Cook. It doesn't have B next to their name.
It's just Cook and Kuka.
So it is bleeding. It will suffer 12 physical damage over 50 time units. But it's either 12 or 14 away from moving. So if we stun you, maybe you're like dead now? Just due to your bleed eventually?
That might be enough. Wow. a Molotov cocktail, straight up.
It's relatively
Is Soul
little in
Shock
terms of
AoE?
its damage.
Or is it single?
Soul Shock AoE.
Do we have
It
any
is
AoE?
single target.
Okay.
Not certain we have any AoE unless maybe the enemies hit us and we respond to their hit.
Right. Right.
You've got to die to that right soon. 13. It's got
Where-
6, so we actually have to attack it.
Yeah, we're right on the edge. These enemies they're hosed. This fight feels like pretty done. Am I misjudging?
No. Well, unless, you know, the innkeeper decides to resummon a bunch of nerds here.
Which they could.
It's their rights to do.
But what if we blood rupture them? Boom. Oh, the second hit. It's so visceral.
No!
Using like screen shake effects and slowing down time to make hits feel big is so cool. Ooh. We should not get hit by that again.
If we can avoid it. Roselunger. Everyone's tired. How am I making them tired? Is it just the gem of the card shows whether or not they're going to become tired? If they use a red action, they become tired? Oh, wait. No. Oh, hang on.
Oh, it's your
Here
zone.
we see. Yes. Okay, so anything that takes them beyond 40 on the limit makes them exhausted. They'll take more damage. Anything on tired, they'll take more damage as well. So yeah, literally anything more than 20 will cause them to start becoming tired.
Are they still tired when they cross the 20 threshold? Or do they become untired?
Ooh, that's a good question. Well, everyone's back there at the moment, so I can't necessarily see.
Right. Well, we'll see it
Where's
happen. Because
Skimpula?
once we use this, they'll move forward, and we'll see. Yeah, stun that innkeeper, dude. That guy needs to... You are no longer permitted to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like they became untired. Unless... Gosh, they're right at the threshold there. I'm watching Slam Caller. If they stay tired after this move, then we know that it's until your next play. These stuns are clutch. Okay, yeah. It's as you cross the 20 mark. Okay, well, we know how that mechanic works, which is good, because even if it's not that impactful, it was driving me wild to not know how it works, right? Like, you just want to understand the mechanic.
Ooh.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
You haven't
Cool that
acted
you
yet.
can hit the back line with that, right?
Just anyone who is... Oh, wait. So
Intercept.
why is Roselunger so far behind everyone else?
Because they got hit and knocked back substantially.
Ah, right. Yeah, that might have sent them up to like 50 time units,
Exhausted.
and they're still... Okay, cool.
It was a nasty hit that the innkeeper did.
Do we...
Should we intercept the innkeeper's attacks? That's what I'm thinking.
Probably, because we're not tenderized.
Yeah. And just like, that keeps our smaller units from just dying.
Mm-hmm.
Which seems preferable.
The stone throw again against the innkeeper? No, because the innkeeper,
It's
we already have a
stunned.
plan for their own action.
Okay, that's true. This is kind of an epic fight.
Yeah, it's a long one. Maybe
I feel like
they...
we've thrown a lot of stones. I'm glad that our pockets are so deep.
Super useful to have that extra stun on lock there. I mean, 12 physical damage, so...
Do you
the
ever
life
like...
shock won't even get them.
Do you ever like quicken? Should we just hex? Do you ever quicken one of our raiders so that they can do more hitting?
I mean,
There's some
there are
micro
two
here, I
bleeding
guess,
enemies
right?
on the board.
That's the biggest tactic that I see right now. Like, just trying to imagine what kinds of things you think about as we get to harder and harder plays. Is there's kind of a hand over fist system of making sure that your units have access to kill your priority targets, but the enemies don't have access to kill your units. So small amounts of speed up and slow down might be better than I think, because that can be how we make sure that our raider can hit the innkeeper, or how we make sure that the cook can't tenderize our shaman. Whoa.
Bang Yawner!
It was way faster. Didn't it feel like
Bang
they,
Yawner
like,
literally just attacked, didn't they?
they just jumped everyone? Hasty.
Come on, we need to get some bleed on you. Hey!
The combat roll is so delightful. Gosh, is it just a doubling? Is my math sense messed up here? It feels like they're about to get like 2 or 3 to 1 actions. Is it execute time? Let's go, baby.
It could be. This does 17 damage, but Blood
but we
Rupture
can just blood
will
rupture.
Exactly. Do a lot more than that.
And that's a full bleed. Yeah. Boom. Are we gonna get the kill with the peon?
Get him, Beyond.
You've got this. If they had crit, it could have happened. It could have happened. No more cooks.
No.
No, we're gonna throw rocks at you, dog. You're not permitted to do this any longer. You can stun them. You should just kill them. Run away. Oh no, we're down to Cookta and Cookie.
They'll remain here, evidently. I mean, this may have more afterwards, so I guess this is a good opportunity to use Skim Feeler's heal.
Mm-hmm.
If we
Good
roll
thinking.
it, that is. There it is.
We did. Convenient. Ooh, it can crit. There's a 9 at the back.
Pretty damn effective.
Unless there was some kind of, there's not like a passive ability on Tormentor that makes them get more heal, right?
No, but Tormentor might have been exhausted at the time, and tired and exhausted allies were getting more healing from the Skim Feeler.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So it affects all numbers? That's curious.
Heals damaged allies for 6.
Okay, no, it's okay.
And tired allies for 9.
No, and that's exactly the number that it was. Okay, so it wasn't critting, it was a specific effect on the card.
Yes.
Understood.
Although it may crit in the future, we're not necessarily net to know.
Yeah.
Just seems like
It is
stunning
not
is
ours
always
to
going to be the
know.
most efficient we can do.
For now, at least, it's felt high econ. Because, well, I don't know. That did 10. Well, but that was a crit, right?
No, that was
I feel
base.
like as we get access to more moves, the base damage is 10 on Slam.
Yes, but it seems to have a damage range. Or, no,
Okay.
enemies have armor, right? So it wasn't damage range, it was just the enemy had an armor.
The goblin's looking around.
I like that kind of like little ambient characterization there. 3 gold
that a
bags,
blue-
bunch of foodstuffs, and a goblin sword hammer. A very, very,
Ham hammer.
very hard piece of meat. So yes, that's 100% a legitimate thing right there.
Oh, man.
Apparently not frozen though.
Not frozen. So you can still eat it if times are dire.
Squad is
Mission
expelled.
complete. So we came home to our lair and straight up it was a whole tavern. So how long were we gone?
I'm not certain. Was that our lair, or are we on the way to our lair? And as we tried to go past the people that were outside the ruin, we decided to detour, and our detour took us into a tavern.
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
You can freely switch a goblin's class if they have not yet adventured. Interesting. The lair. Certain game features in the lair are still under development. The complete experience will be available in early access. In New Quest, the horrible blight lurks in the old woods, bringing terror to its wake. Seek it out and destroy it. Oh no, you're 100% right. This is our lair. They had made their way in.
Okay, so we have an XCOM or Fallout Shelter style system here of buildings in a landscape. Grog Bomber. Hey, is that the orc?
Yeah,
that
that
a
definitely
new orc?
appears to be the sad orc we'd seen prior. Campgrounds. Available squad is 3. Merchant level 1. A place to recruit outsiders or browse the visiting merchant's wares.
Porque no los dos. Oh. No, this is a different person. There's no snot. I don't remember the hairdo.
I thought I remembered the
2D, 3D,
hairdo,
it's
but I might
cute.
be wrong.
Yeah, you know what? Just because I don't remember it doesn't mean it's not real.
Oh, this is Shaman.
Ooh.
Ooh. Crude Ham Hammer.
Oh,
Classes Raider.
whoa.
Plus 20 power, plus 20% stun chance, plus 10 max life.
We can't sell it. We got to run it. We got to run
100%.
this item. That's so good. I do like upgrading our shaman, but there are a couple potential recruitables here too.
Mm-hmm. Filter by weapon, filter by materials, and filter by all. Let's jump back to this in just a moment. How do I... Okay, we just click off of that screen. Also got at the top, active goblins 6 out of 20, and there's 0 out of 10 retired goblins.
Is that do you think that that's like retired, back to the old farm up north? Like what kind of retirement are we talking about for these goblins? Take them behind the barn and retire them?
I'm thinking they get a gold watch.
Okay.
I'm thinking they get, a long speech by a couple of colleagues. And then I'm thinking, yeah, they get run through with the sharpest halberd that's in the area.
Which is apparently a piece of meat. So it's going to be brutal and slow.
Ancestors Hall. You see Ancestry, the population, gold, and that are tracked there as well. The Heart of the Lair and the Home of the Goblin Stone. Lair depth
upgrade.
is 2 and rooms unlocked. Yeah, let's just upgrade, see what it do.
What does it mean? An additional 1 green is needed to upgrade the Ancestors Hall. We do not have green yet. Are those the Goblin Stone? Are those... Is this perhaps a stone?
That definitely
we
appears
must
to be
acquire?
the titular Goblin Stone as a result of being the icon that I saw when I clicked the game for the first time. Ancestors. List of all goblins who've died and contributed to your ancestry. Cool. Contributors to your ancestry, so it is
retired.
important in terms of that at the absolute least. And then Summon and Tome are both grayed out here.
So if there's a whole Ancestors thing, is that suggesting that like you will die? We're going to lose gobos?
I think so, but I also think that the parents that you have for any individual goblin are probably going to contribute to that goblin's stats.
Yeah.
We saw something previous, like a goblin born with high body, right? It's possible that is a way to track the stats your ancestry had. There's a larder, armory, shaman's guild, raiders guild, barracks, guards
Oh my
guild,
gosh.
war room,
There's buildings for...
Warren quarters.
Maybe this is how you select the class for the peons. You send them to their room.
0 retired, 0 dead. So yeah, retired is definitely dead to, different to dead here. Manage combat skills for all shaman.
We need Gobbo Stone. Please, sir.
Okay, so this is just the ability to look at all the shamans that you've produced so far, not necessarily upgrade them. Maybe that's in there later.
I think we should see if we can pick up like 1 new unit, buy 1 item, and go on 1 quest.
I would very, very much like to do that as well. Oh, there you go.
Oh, that's how that works.
Place a goblin pair
It's
to
like-
breed more goblins.
So I think that these are like nice drapes in the background, but what I saw was like a WWE arena, and I was thinking that goblins, it's a cage match. You take Mama Gobbo and a Daddy Gobbo, and you give them both blunt weapons, and you place them in the cage.
And then you
then
come back
the
a while
stork.
later and you hope that there are more than 2 goblins. Heck, you hope there's at least 2 goblins.
They may actually be recreating via mitosis, we think. We suspect.
We're going to
that
have
the
to feed them a
goblins just
lot
split.
if that's going to happen. Quarters. So the upgrade to this would add plus 10 to max population. Okay, so we can see the upgrade for each of the individual rooms represented next to it. So those are each of the classes.
What's the
armory
one
difference?
notification that's in our top left? The badges. I have to turn badges off on applications. I don't know if this is a thing for you, but like I can't. There can be no numbers on my phone.
Badges.
The little number badge that says there's a thing that you need to attend to on this app.
Oh,
Somewhere between 1 and 1,000 thing.
I have one of those, I think, for Messenger, but it's literally just comes up and has a little blue dot that is like, there are any messages here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think those get cleared as soon as I clear my notifications. I'm assuming that might be an iOS thing, the badges?
Yeah. It's used at a lot of places. I just like to have no numbers.
Totally fair. So this is a quest in the quest log is what it's showing for us. The Horror of the Wood, which I imagine we might be able to set out on. Just want to very quickly see. Okay, so here's our war room. A prep room for the adventuring party and a place to embark on the next adventure. So this is how we would leave. This is kind of like the war room, as you might imagine in an XCOM kind of situation as well. The armory we'd seen prior. That's just store and improve weapons for combat. Excusez-moi.
Can we improve our ham hock?
Discard? No, that's definitely not what we want to do there.
No, no, no.
And perhaps
you
this room is
click
not
the little-
necessarily
Oh, okay, that's not an improve button. That's an unequip button.
auto sorter unequip. Larder, which is probably just filled with food and materials from the environment, so the possibility of selling those as well exists there.
Okay.
All right. Yep. Let's jump back up here and see if we can get a new friend. All of them have the same
Oh, are
base
they
stats,
all
it
just
looks like.
peons? No, no, they have classes on top. That one's a raider. That one's a garter. And that's a peon, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But we can reclass them, didn't it say you can freely reclass peons at the starting area?
Apparently, yes. Should we pick up another, like, Jowlcaster? Because their name is Jowlcaster, and then make them a shaman?
Yeah. Yeah, because we'll be able to remember.
Ooh,
Don't
huh?
ask
Whoa,
me.
it had effects next to it. Hang on. The other one had... So I can't read these ones
Oh,
because
gosh.
of the way that's happening. Your spirit attribute is increased by 1 from genes. And Numbskull, resist increased by 25%. Your... Resist increased by 25%. Full stop. Your magical attacks deal 50% less damage.
Nice.
Right.
That's sad. Numbskull means that they're not perhaps the best caster.
Plucky. While you... Something front...
Are in
Life
front.
total life... Something total life is increased by 15%.
Okay, so when you're in the front, you take less damage, which means this unit could potentially be a good tank.
Also true. Also true, but
What
let's
about
see if we
Grog
can do
Bomber?
the recast. Let's look at Grog Bomber in just a moment, but first,
Okay.
let's go to the merchant. Do we have some gold right now?
They do have a
already?
shaman item. If we
They
wanted to
do
buy that.
indeed. The imbued carcass. Oh, right. So it's showing you what the trade would be if you committed to it. Got it. Let's get rid of some furs and gnawed bone, just in case they're keen on that more than we are. Raider with resist. Additional 10% chance to crit as well as you attack for more damage. I think here I'm just going to buy the most powerful things that we can because the game seems... Oh, no, we can't afford all the most powerful things.
There's a limit.
Plus 25%
We
damage
don't
against
need-
large.
We only need 2 raider items, and one of them is the ham hock. So we good there.
That is
Just pick
definitely
whichever
true.
the second one is that we want, or we could buy an improved shield if there is one.
Unfortunately, that doesn't appear to be. Crude edged bone. Plus 9 power, plus 25% damage versus large.
Nice,
Or
so like
we can go
bosses.
for more crit, more resist. Also more damage by base.
Are they the same cost?
800, 600. The other one costs more.
Bigger number, better number?
Bigger number, better number.
We got like an... Oh, no, we sold some stuff, right? I was like, we got like a $9 discount or something?
Mm-hmm.
No, we made some sales.
So we go down to the Shaman's Guild. All Shaman. It doesn't
we have
appear
to
to be
like
when
go
we
to
do
the
that.
peon. Probably we have to find the peon and click them and tell them what to be.
You are in the barracks. We select you.
You know, maybe can we click and drag them? No. Can we?
Not as far as I can tell. Full roster. Maybe I can just click them and... No. Clicking them
Maybe
still-
out.
Oh, there it is. It's literally just chain plus. There we go.
It costs 50 goblin seals. What did we just spend?
I'm assuming that was just excess gold as well.
It had a different color, right? Wasn't it like red?
But I can't think of any other meta resources
Blood
that we have
gold.
earned and can use.
Right. So we made someone the caster with the 50% less effective magic, right? That's awesome.
No, Jowcaster isn't the one with... Oh, they are also with that. I thought the other one is the one that had Numbskull. In fact, two of them have Numbskull. It's this one and... can't remember his name at the moment. But we've also got Intimidating. While you are in front, there is some chance to soften the enemy at the start of the turn.
Can we reclass them again? Not to say that we should, but I'm just
100%.
curious if it lets us. Okay. But it won't let us turn them into a guard?
No,
That would be perfect.
Doesn't appear to want to let us do that.
That's so rude.
Oh, no. It's not even holding that weapon yet, so I don't know. Requires... right. It requires some stats to be able to do that. It can become a shaman, but it could not become guard or raider because it doesn't have enough points in body.
So this unit may just be pretty bad.
Yeah, we may not end up taking that unit out.
Gelcaster, we've got a great role for you here at home.
You can
It's a nice safe roll.
be a parent of someone later on. That'll work good for you.
You know, actually making another numbskull is not is that a type of gene that they can share via cage match?
I imagine so, yeah. All right.
You want to go on a quest?
I do indeed. None of these have...
I guess we should equip their
genes?
weapons.
Yes,
I guess
definitely.
that's...
So Life Pauper, let's go for Skim, excuse me? Skim, there we go.
That's a nice menu. An imbued carcass. That's what they're going to fight with? Cool.
It's better than a crudely magic rock.
That's true.
Okay, so the peon can only fight with fists, as you might imagine.
Peon is basically just carrying goods and hopefully not dying.
Perfect. Everyone has the best equipment available for them at the moment. Let's just jump out to another mission.
Away we go. That's a nice little map.
A region to see the available adventures. Was a bit of a flashing element there, but I like the way that everything is kind of like unfolding and bringing itself kind of...
Same.
It
it's
places
charming.
you in the world in a more immersive way than I was necessarily expecting.
Take me to the foothills. I'm ready to do a quest.
We must
To
scout
destroy the humans.
the Merry Foothills. Their resources here are apparently it's a resource-rich mission, numerous enemies, medium forest. Let's go.
Explore all of Merry Foothills is our objective. That... Okay.
That ordering?
It's the dungeon questing system that is more similar to Darkest Dungeon. For sure.
Definitely appears so. I'm still kind of wrapping my head around the timeline mechanic, to be entirely frank.
I think that there's some real potential depth there. If they do well by that mechanic, the game will be worth playing and investing in just for that. And that's one of my favorite things about being a streamer and getting to interact with lots of games, is that you get to have these interactions to where you're like, this part is enough to make this worth it. You know, this one thing is clever enough, deep enough, interesting enough. And I think the timeline mechanic is really cool. And it's a weird fusion, isn't it?
I have that same kind of feeling specifically around the breeding system. Like, if it lives up to the kind of like the thing that I have in my mind. Because there were like a lot of PS1 games that had some sort of a like monster catching kind of breeding mechanic. And I was really, really enamored with a lot of those games.
Did you play Monster Rancher? I never played that game.
I did not. No.
Okay.
Wolf A and Wolf B.
Are we not worried that we're fighting on top of a suspended log? It seems like our positioning is.
It does seem like they'll take the fight wherever it is.
They're just gonna take the fight.
They're not picky. Set next to targets in the enemy. Yeah, let's go for the chance to stun, I guess. Oh, all of the other ones have been
It
a
felt
guarantee.
like we stunned. Oh, but we have a high stun chance with this unit because of the mutton chop. But unfortunately, we don't have any stunning moves. But we can stun them to death.
That's the permanent stun, you see.
This enemy takes no actions.
You're not allowed.
Pink. Ooh, they dropped 2 backpacks. Don't you love it when the wolf is ready to go to school?
Do they have a packed lunch? No, they had a goblin wand, a primitive wand. Still going to
It's
be less
imbued with
valuable
magic.
than another.
I mean,
And-
it's a stick, and that was a dog, so it makes sense.
A large red gem.
These dogs are finding all sorts of goodies.
No kidding. And keeping him in a bag as well. Medium adventure stuff. Various medium-sized adventurer items of no use to goblins. Like that neat little touch there. Something you often tend to experience in TTRPGs, especially if you're playing like a halfling class or like a smaller class, is armor drops, and depends on whether the DM is going to be like, no, I guess it's your size, it's fine, or if they're like, go to town and get someone to modify it for you, nerd.
That doesn't fit you. That was on a random body.
It's a good justification for making something
Whoa.
kind of like a loot system.
Green Widow. Giant redback. Let's not get bit. I
Let's
wonder
try
if
not
poison
to.
sticks around after battle.
I've seen a redback exactly one time in my life.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
It
is a
was-
redback different than a black widow?
Yes.
Okay.
The redback is, God, I can't remember like particular effects of venom or anything like that, but
Okay.
they're one of the most dangerous that we have in Australia. Is brown recluse similarly dangerous? It might be more dangerous. It might just be like number 1 and number 2 there.
Okay. We have brown recluse here.
The enemy
Although,
is allowed
I
no
I
advantage.
don't even know if I know what they look like. We certainly have black widows, and they have a red back. They have a red hourglass on their back. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And I see them a lot, because black widows love to be in like sheds and shops and stuff. You'll find them in the corner.
So last time I saw the redback was also in a shed. Which I instantly ran away from, got on a bike, and then rode away from.
We were never going there again. This quest is complete.
Tis a silly shed.
We just don't need it. We just don't need it. Nice. I'm glad we
Those
upgraded them.
enemies expected an easy kill.
Actually, though, did we increase their damage, or were they always doing 8? Ooh, more
More
shammy weapons.
I believe they're doing more damage as a result of having the other goblin kit that we picked up.
Okay. So speaking of wolves with sticks, I of course have young Junior. Oh, we finished. Wow, complete. My young dog, my Labrador puppy, 5 months. He's my little baby. He's a good boy. Right now we don't have a fence in part of our backyard because the neighbor said, "Hey, do you want to pitch in and we'll take our fence down and replace it?" Which has been a little stressful because Junior is actually outside for 4 to 6 hours a day, like in the backyard, mostly with me, but just sometimes out. He just likes to be outside. He's a dog, right? And so that makes it easy to manage potty and everything. And right now there's no fence, so I have to monitor him outside because it's like the whole world is open. But he loves it when he gets to go out because he loves to go explore. When they're putting a fence, what they do is they put 2 like kind of smaller stakes, and then they draw a line to mark the exact line that the fence is on. And it's a way to make sure that it stays straight, and it's a way to line up the boundaries of the properties. And so, I like to work outside with these guys. And so this guy's working. And we get towards the end of the day yesterday, and he's dug up now 3 post holes for the fence posts that they use, like the really heavy duty, big, like a 4x4 that they use to put the fence on. And he gets to the 3rd, and he's like, it's not exactly right. The interest in sticks is too great. Junior has gone and messed with one of the line posts, which has thrown the line off. And he has already quick dry concreted in 3 posts in the wrong place.
Oh.
And so he had to rock bar dig up 3 posts and reset all 3 of them. And today I came outside and Junior was out there and he was like, "Oh, Junior, I am mad at you." I was like, "Dude, I'm so sorry." It's like my dog made like 30 minutes of really awful work for you, but we're doing our best. I got to go outside,
I'm just thinking of Junior's internal monologue response to that of like, and I worked real hard at messing those up. Why don't you go hang out somewhere else? I'll do it again.
Get out of the way. I've got a lot of chewing stick to do right now.
You don't understand. You've given me a large stick.
Junior, I am mad at you.
Oh, it was food. That was what we did. That's what it costs to transition them between their different types.
Oh,
Food.
you have to feed them so that they can learn. Understood. So can we
Interesting.
click the quests in our quest book, or do they just sit there and compile?
So Horror in the Woods is the one that we just completed. We have a meta log here, it looks like. Just giving some information about what's occurred at the lair back at the ranch.
Did we do Horror in the Woods? That was just a regular exploration, wasn't it?
Oh, we didn't do Horror in the Woods. You're right. That was just a regular exploration.
Yeah.
Weird. So how do we specifically embark on these?
Right.
Not necessarily certain
We have
yet.
to locate the Shadow White. So maybe we just keep going on quests and eventually we find it? And those are kind of like secondary, kind of random objectives?
Mhm.
I'm surprised by, in many ways, a lot of these menus and systems are stock standard RPG systems. We shouldn't be that surprised. I'm not saying that they're low value. We use the same things because people understand them, right? It's like we use the same tools so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel and totally understand a completely new experience. But I find myself stumbling on a lot of this stuff. Like, how exactly do I start the quest? How exactly do I do the class transformation? And I suspect that that's something that they'll work out before release, is like, what's the right tutorial system for the game?
Yeah, there's definitely a few edges that I've noticed rather, that could be sanded in a little fashion. Ferocious. Whenever something I imagine you suffer a mental
wound.
That sounds right. Gain plus 20% power until end of combat. There's also whenever you suffer bleed damage, 20% chance to gain infuriate.
I think that's correct.
Thud Boomer is ferocious and gangly. Abilities cost
Gangly.
20% less, but power is reduced by 50%.
Oh,
So they act
not sure that we
fast.
like that.
Well, I mean,
Okay, wait, maybe we do, because we're not going to be attacking. They're going to be
Yeah.
healing and life shocking, right?
they're a shaman.
Maybe
they're gonna
that's
be
actually a
life
really
shocking.
good shaman.
They're also ferocious. We've seen that one previously on the
That's
other.
pretty good.
And then plucky. Let's take Thud Boomer and make them the shaman that we wish that that Caster was.
We don't talk about them. They're at home, working on something. Down there by the larder.
They're not even here. Skinfield is the one with the imbued carcass. Okay, so hang on. Let's just jump back and see if we can get something else from the merchant. Have you restocked your wares? Excuse me, merchant, please.
It said it.
Yep, there's an imbued wand. Plus
That's a lot of
60%
life.
max life even. As well as 7 power. Fine
Ooh, a
Wicker
shield.
Shields. 14 power, plus 4 life gain per kill as well.
If you're the finisher.
Oh, Crude Magic Rock. So this is the second level of a Crude Magic Rock we'd seen prior. Plus 20% to weapon skill cost reduction. But the weapon skill is Hex, attack with your trinket and deal 3 damage, which doesn't seem great.
So it's kind of looking like this is the Loop Hero style of you've got the base item, and then the color represents how many additional stat rolls it has, right? Because that's a green version of the Crude Rock. So it's the base of the Crude Rock. It's 3 damage, but it has 1 extra stat.
That one's got to be definitely worth selling. Definitely worth selling. Common ore often mined in abundance. Just in case we have any upgrades that we have to do with other things, various pieces of scrap. It seems like a lot of these will end up having upgrades they provide to us. Large red gem. I haven't taken anything from the enemies yet, have I? Oh, apparently I have. What did I take from
We
them?
got a few items. Or weapons, I guess.
Oh, what?
I couldn't tell if any of them were good.
Did I? Yeah, but did I pick up anything from this trader yet?
No.
Why am I at negative 270 for trading with them then?
Oh, cancel that. Something wicked.
Huh?
Huh?
So they're just accepting the first thing we try and put in the trade. They're like, this is mine now.
And then when we take it back, we have to buy it.
Yeah.
No, no. No, 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 no.
Well, can we... Crude imbued bone? No, we can't even afford that unless we can sell things. It's a demo. It's an early access.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine going to like a vendor, you know, a street merchant, and you sit down and you're like, I've got a lot of things to barter with, and you like put some stuff down, and they look at you and they just reach out and they just like take, and they put it on their side. Oh man.
What?
And they're like,
Vendor.
I also have a lot of things to barter with.
Vendor,
But that's my rock.
Why did you take my item? Vendor, that was mine.
You mean my rock on my rug?
Vendor! Vendor, I need your strongest rocks. My strongest rocks.
This is my rock.
No, Vendor!
My rock.
and Jowlcaster.
Strong for you.
Maybe we, Oh, no, wait, they're lowering their crit by going out on consistent missions.
Yeah.
That's the reason to sub them in and out. That said, for the length of the demo, do you think it's probably, maybe a better idea to just keep the same
Take 'em one
units?
more time. Yeah. Why don't we go on one quest for the road? I think I would be really satisfied if we managed to do like one more quest, like the quests up in the top, or if we managed to fight like one more boss. I would be super satisfied. I'm satisfied now as it is. I like I said, I think that the timeline battle position fusion is a cool enough mechanic to have been worth the time by itself. And if they do well by that, I'm thrilled.
It's strange. It definitely seems like we're exploring in this area, and then the other is eliminate all enemies. So these are kind of like generic missions, but I can't necessarily see any non-generics like the ones that we already have listed on the outside. I do want to just...
Well,
do a
one of them was
secondary check.
with Whistling Heath, right?
Horror in the Woods. Scout Whistling
I
Heath.
see, I
Oh
see.
yeah, Scout Whistling Heath was one of the missions. So Horror in the
Okay.
Woods is the one that we haven't got logged yet. A
We
Horrible
just haven't been
Blight.
able to get to it because we don't have the old woods yet, right?
Ah, all right. Honestly, if I had to guess, I would say that this mission to explore the... Oh, yeah, it's good.
This whole place is the old woods. The white is somewhere in the old woods. And now we
Yes.
have a mission to explore Whistling Heath. So we go do that, and we might see the white when we're there. Maybe.
Bingo. That's my suspicion right there.
That'd be cool if so. That'd be nice.
Body. My body is ready for combat.
Reggie filling me would love this game.
The goblin fell. That was kind of cute.
You can give a lot of character to these goblins. It definitely
It
seems
looked like
something
you can
they're
give them
intent-
different like expressions and facial features and stuff too. Did you see that little thing? I couldn't tell if those are freely. Oh yeah, climb that.
As in the
So-
ones in jeans for their appearance.
Yeah,
I think these are
those are
just
the
related
sets.
to your parents.
got it. So, as far as you can tell, we should climb. I was literally about to ask, are all the levels left to right fully linear? But low. An
Whoa.
opportunity to do something different. Go up.
Go to the fight before you heal, naturally. Crit. Dang.
You know, actually, I think what this is reminding me of more is a mobile game that I played. Not to, like... So I need to clarify. For some people, when they say mobile game, that means bad. But for me, that's not the case. Certainly, there are many, you know, like what feel kind of cheap, you know, kind of money grab mobile games. But I actually think that mobile games do a lot of clever things because of the space that they're on. And every once in a while, I encounter a mobile game that I think is pretty good. And one game that I found that I enjoyed for a while, that ultimately I burned out on, was Epic 7. And it actually reminds me of this a lot. It was kind of side-to-side storybook and timeline system. And I was trying to think of what game was it that that I saw some resemblance, and actually that's the game that I'm thinking of.
It's weird. As soon as we finished the previous fight, we immediately got ambushed in a new
zombies.
fight. And that slowed us at the start of the combat as well due to being surprised.
Oh.
Starts further back on the timeline.
Curious.
Resource modifier.
The fact that we're seeing zombies makes me wonder if we will see the white here.
Right? It seems like maybe
Yeah.
if we fully explore this and go fight all of the enemies, that'll be possibly
I mean, I
involved.
want to do it anyway, right? Like, I want to see all the combat.
Definitely same here too. Ah, stun enemy. If they're undead, damage it instead. There we go. Get damaged.
Suddenly, so strong. Ooh, did you equip the new shield? Because if so, this is healing. Oh, did we not complete the purchase because the...
Yeah, we couldn't complete the purchase because of the money thing.
Because the vendor was stealing. No, backpack! Backpack, no! Backpack!
Oh, yeah, we have to individually go to that one as well.
Zombie backpacks are particularly round. Can we continue that way, actually? Can we, like, go up and then keep going to the right?
It's weird. As soon as I tried to heal that, it just descended us. But yeah, we can. Okay, so we actually have multiple different paths out of here?
Yeah. Yeah, because the other way had a wolf and another climbable.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this level is big. We don't have any kind of map, do we? Or do we?
No, not at all. This feature is still in development on this one, so it's possible that is a map that we would be able to use at some point future on.
Mm-hmm. I bet they're trying to figure out how you represent these things as a map. Oh.
There's another surprise for us. Giant
centipede. It's got a skull. Does that mean it's a bows? Hello? Are you a boss?
I'm not certain if that means it's a boss. It may well do. Ooh, we've even got first blood to start the fight off. That's nice. But Bang Yona is about to die to their own bleed, or rather, they're going to stay on 2 HP after their own bleed is done. Good lord! That's too much. Too much. Stun a damaged enemy.
Yeah, we're going to need you to do less.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to have to take a chill pill. That's about enough out of you.
Wakey, wakey!
Wakey,
The enemies
wakey.
are sorry!
52!
Yeah!
Goblins may be
GG.
small, but in battle they are not without merit.
That's the first time we got to land that, and ooh, it felt nice. You could tell because my mouth turned into a subwoofer. That's always a good sign.
That one?
Yeah.
Ooh, so that's the exit. Right?
Well, we got more exploring to do.
Yeah. Let's go to the south. The mission was fully scout this area. I feel like we wouldn't even complete it.
Yeah.
That also does make sense, right? Because all of the previous endgame screens we've seen have mentioned that, you know, this out of this many enemies, this out of this many harvests, this out of this many goblins rescued, etc. And it wouldn't make sense if it was completely linear levels to have a system like that.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't seem like you can avoid engaging in battles when they are ahead of you.
Right. Exactly. So now we have a little bit of branching paths via climb.
How are we
That's a
surprised
lot of
by
spoilers.
this?
But the surprise is going to get us murked. Like, Bang Yona might be dead.
Yeah?
Chop, chop. And actually, that's one of our raiders.
Yeah, it is.
Ooh. We should heal them.
This may be a food situation.
If they die, then they die. I think we should try to use this shockwave thing, man. But then we need to get them to the front, so maybe we want to hasten them after that or something.
Mmm. Oh, good idea. I like it. Stone's Throw just...
Ooh, it has the
They
skull mark to
foolishly
indicate death.
underestimated their quarry.
a permanent stun.
Foolishly underestimate their quarry.
I feel like spiders are in an RPG either hilariously easy or secretly like one of the hardest enemies in the game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Darkest Dungeon spiders are the ones that really convinced me of that.
Yes. Like, just, oh, oops. You're so fast, and you only evade, and you've got all of these poisons and diseases, these blights. Okay.
Oh, you've marked and crit and killed my raider. Oh, raider is not a class in Darkest Dungeon? Oh, it's just in this? Alright. Stop Slamcaller.
They're so fast. There's so many of them. We better murder them all hilariously.
Could have ruptured for extreme overkill there, but we're already tired just doing it all, and we're exhausted?
Why? From poison?
Maybe? Mayhaps?
Yeah, Shockwave's here.
Mayhappery? Shockwave is here, and unfortunately, as soon as we do anything, we go on the back line again.
I know. It feels like you can't get enough moves out for that to be... Like, I can't imagine that it lasts for 150 time units, right? That's a long time. So you must be able to get utility out of this move. But so far, it feels very hard to do in the fights that we're having. Because you spend this 40 time unit move to throw your tank to the back line and not do anything. And then the enemy never hits you. So it must be like combining with quicken effects or combining with taunt effects or something like that.
Yeah.
Has to be the way to do it.
Foolish creatures.
The backpack! Backpack! No!
It's fine about the backpack, but apparently he died.
That's it?
Rest in peace, Skin Feeler. We barely knew you.
You contributed. You contributed.
Oh!
Oh, no.
Rest in peace to another one of them.
Goblin adventuring is very dangerous.
They caught back up.
Go better. I heard that in your stream today. Go better. I go better. Turn me into a newt.
I got better. That actually, funnily enough, the same thing that I heard in the stream today was the persona That's Just Jazz. So I think Junkmaster picked it up from your stream and then came over to share.
It's traveling. My stories, like Virus.
A lot more pleasant than Virus.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
So. No,
okay,
this
so
is not
just dead ends. So we just got that extra battle,
yeah.
and then we battled back.
Dang, no white. I'll find. I was about to go into like biology and evolution 401, but I'll say that it's too long of a science lesson. It is fascinating to me. I was going to talk about viral action as related to evolution.
Ooh.
In general, evolutionary theory and genetic theory has come so far in the last several decades, and our previous ideas of just simple Mendelian genetics look like very hilariously simple and incomplete.
But it's a Punnett square, and that's all.
And that's it. And then you do the natural selection on the island, and that's all.
We've explored all of Whistling Heath. We got all of the encounters, the treasures, and the harvests. Decent income from it. I wonder if this is then going to reveal the mission of the white. I'd be happy to go for another boss battle if there is one.
Dude, do desire that.
Scout Furrow's Rest. So this appears to be like the ultimate goal, and then these are the day-to-day kind of
getting us through
on.
the... Yeah. I'm definitely understanding why crit is impactful, because imagine if in that fight against the spiders, we had more crit. That's like going to kill them in one hit in many cases, right?
Yeah, definitely seems impactful. Definitely seems like a good opportunity to be throwing a bunch of units in and out. Any of you particularly good? Wald Tusker is a raider by base, has Numbskull. Not a bad trait for you.
Whoa.
Plucky, your
Whoa.
life is increased by 15% while you're in the front. Spiteful Spirit, when you die, deal damage to all enemies equal to 50% of your spirit attribute, as well as Intimidating while you are in the front, 50% chance to soften the enemy at the start of his turn.
This is a very good guard, right? Like, they have all the guard stuff.
Extremely
You want to recruit this
good guard.
lad?
Let's do that.
Get them a shield, throw them out, kill a
And
wife.
then Slop Dumper, sorry, is the final one. When you die, deal magical damage to your attacker equal to 500% of your mind attribute, and you're immune to mortal wounds.
Mortal
Not bad.
wounds. Does that mean they're immune to death?
Maybe. You still steal? Yeah, you're still stealing.
I really wish you wouldn't steal.
Crude Goblin Shields. That's just a slightly better shield than the base for a guard, but that's about all we can do here. So let's just take that. Trade. All right. And then that one's already a guard. So let's see. Is this like... Are you going to show us one extra unexplored space? Okay. It looks like there's probably... Yeah, probably two unexplored realms there.
Yeah, yeah.
Want to go to Forest Rest?
Sure, one more for the road.
Sounds good to me.
For the Gobbo who fell. For the Gobbo who fell infinitely.
We're avenging them. Oh, so wait. Let's go get the guard that we just picked up. Drop a peon probably.
Yeah.
So, hold wood and then back to lair. Excuse me. Can I click lair, please? Thank you. Please, lair, please. Thank you. Please. Click, click, click.
It's
click,
too late
click,
now.
Click, click. Am I not allowed to?
I have no idea. Can
Oh.
you just escape out? Okay, good.
Let's get Leaf Glazer in here. I prefer Roselunger. They had a rough ride a little bit earlier on.
Do we want Skimfeller to be closer to the front so that we can do something like set up Tormentor with the Shockwave and then hasten them?
Let's do that on the first 2 turns. Let's wombo combo.
That feels fairly wombage.
Dare I say, even slightly combage.
Did we give them the new Shieldo?
No, you're 100% right. We did not.
Unfortunately, we're stuck.
It is Tormentor, Slamcaller, Bang Yonit. Leaf Glazer is our new.
Maybe we put them in the front. Seem like they're just better, right?
They are, but they're better when enemies hit, and oftentimes we act first. Well, although not when surprised.
Right, that's a good point.
Okay, let's go across to your stats outfit, I guess. There we go. Trade
we
your
increase
fists
their
for
stats?
cobbled shields. Yeah, I'm assuming that there will be ways to train them out here in the meta level, right?
Need more Goblin Stones.
Maybe after the Ancestors Hall gets upgraded, we start unlocking different areas that are going to be better for them as well.
Right, like take them to the Shaman's Guild and, even more stuff. Expand. I see.
The Old Woods.
To the
Forest
furrow.
Rest. Nice.
I'm pretty stoked. I'm pretty stoked on this build.
I just want to see that shockwave go off.
So do you think that it really is 4 classes, including peons, like in the whole game? Or do you think they expand? There's this whole card system, which... Woohoo!
There's this whole car system, which?
There's this whole card system, which indicates to me that, like, you might be able to customize abilities, or there might be more classes later on or something, right? So...
Yeah, it feels like a lot of the things that would be a depth of customization are either going to be locked in the lower levels of the Goblin Stone that we haven't necessarily explored yet. Similar to maybe higher classes are also locked down there, and you kind of just get the base 3, damage, taking damage, and doing magical damage.
Yeah, yeah. I bet you're right. I bet it sticks to those classes, but that we get access to more customization later on as we improve the layer and can then change the cards, upgrade the cards, whatever.
Oh,
This just makes me want
instantly
to play
ambushed.
video games, man. Sitting here playing video games with you really makes me want to play video games.
I couldn't agree more. If only we were playing. Ah, Teak! There's a video game right in front of us.
Right?
Imagine our luck.
Do you ever finish stream or recording and you're like, oh man, that was a good hard day of work. How am I gonna kick back and relax? And then you stay exactly where you are and you play a video game? Because
100%.
that does happen to me sometimes. Are you able to compartmentalize, like, right now I'm in the studio for work versus right now I'm in the studio for for you it's the lights, right? Oh no, you have to go somewhere else?
I'm trying to set up different spaces. Like, that's part of the reason
yeah.
that I want a PS5 and part of the reason I've been playing Peak
Yeah.
Switch a lot recently.
Yeah. Consoles are great for this because it's different room, different vibe.
It's weird because
Yeah.
back when I was like, back when I was a kid, obviously I was playing on consoles a lot. That was my primary gaming experience. But then I went and transitioned from that to all PC, and for a small period of time, I was like, exclusives coming out on console, they should all be out on PC. Why is anything ever released on console? It's just a worse PC. I don't understand this, right? And then
But now you crave it.
Exactly. It took me getting to an
Yeah,
adult
same.
and going, sometimes you just want something that is as simple as you turn it on, it starts playing a game,
Yep.
you sit down on the couch, play that
Yep.
game, and then move. There is a value to it not having the ability to do everything because I'm not connected to my work while I'm at it.
I've gone through the exact same journey. I definitely like romanticize the console games now. Uh-oh.
I will say it does appear like we are soft locked at the start of this combat. It's not bringing up any combatants. We got kind of surprised at the very start of the round, and it appears like these zombies do not want to attack us. If we abandon, we can flee to the lair, or loot will be lost permanently. Fine.
There was also an exit button.
I
was that
thought
just
that would have
exit
just
menu?
exited the menu, yeah.
I see.
At least I imagine that's probably what it was going to do. Let's see if it tries to do that to us again. Because I imagine we can probably
Did
just
they
try and
eat
take
us?
out the same units. No. Still have everyone there.
Good. We still have our same setup.
Perhaps they would have
Wicked.
lost some crit, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
The lights would be a good way to do it, but unfortunately I don't
That's what I
always
do.
have the lights on while I'm recording. So
That's fair. Right.
it's broken a
Yeah.
little bit of that sense for me, unfortunately.
And for me, because I have two monitors, it's like there's more things you can do. Like you close the chat window, you have like some other entertainment up on the other screen. I'm honestly, the things that I do on the surface look like they shouldn't be a good idea because I'll often not be streaming and then I will pull up a different Twitch stream on the other window and play a game. And to me, those things are separable, but it doesn't really make sense that they're separable because they're this close, right? It's like, how can you still be on the exact same platform?
I find that like a relatively decent way to relax, even if I'm still in the
Yeah.
office and even if
Yeah.
part of me is still in work mode, because at any point I could tab out of the game and quickly go and finish an upload or queue something or set up a new render or some such. But yeah, a lot of the time I will have one monitor on a stream or oftentimes Netflix as well. Just rewatching the same comedy specials I've watched infinite times, but they're just really comforting to have that, and then a game on the other screen.
Yeah.
Intercept and Shockwave. Let's do Shockwave and then actually do the maneuvers. Shockwave? Can I cast Shockwave, please?
Oh.
Okay.
Perhaps this quest is too far.
Yes, it appears maybe this quest is a bit too much at the moment. We appear to be soft locking the game a little bit. Again, the game is currently in early access, and in fact, behind me you can even see demo 0.1.38.
Yeah. Yep. We pre 1.0.
So it's
was
also
fun.
worth noting the demo is not necessarily playable yet on Steam. This is something that was playable a while ago, but currently is very much creator access for it.
Mm-hmm. What are your
That was an
thoughts?
enjoyable time.
What were your highlights?
My highlights. The honestly, like a lot of the framing around the way that it transitions between missions, the way that it transitions between different screens. A highlight, honestly, was seeing the kind of XCOM / Fallout Shelter lair that we'd mentioned at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing that and knowing, okay, so I know how XCOM deals with kind of character classes and stuff like that, or at least I know the design space that exists in the kind of broad.
Right.
Giving me a little bit of a sense of the kind of design space that may exist in this game. May not, but
yeah,
I've always found the kind of like base building, or at least base management in that way, kind of mechanics particularly interesting. If it had some sort of like adjacency things like the like XCOM and like Fallout Shelter later on, I think that'd be particularly interesting to me as well. So yeah, those would be my main takeaways. How about yourself?
I think that's interesting because that's the primary thing I noodled about today too. And I should say, it just to address, this game needs more time in the oven. It's clear. It definitely has some rough edges, but it's also not available for people to play. And so part of me is just thinking, I wish I played this a month and a half from now. But then I remember that I can play this a month and a half from now, and we'll get to see the development, right? So in a way, I really love following that journey for games and seeing how they change and improve over time. I still think that the timeline system is potentially the coolest thing since sliced bread. Having position in time and position in space be fused in that way is really clever. And I can't say that I've ever seen anything do that before. And then just on a meta level, like, this is really a different way of saying what you said, but this is the first time in a while that I've really thought about game design space and helping kind of bootstrap intuition with the way that you design an area. Immediately we saw the base and we were like, okay, kind of XCOM style building and upgrading. And immediately we see the timeline and we can visualize time moving, and there's all these pieces that we saw. And maybe what it makes me appreciate, this is above and beyond the game, is how quickly we take for granted these really abstract things that we learn, actually. If you've never played a game, none of those things were meaningful to you. Those are all like second or third level abstractions that you have to have experienced before in order to be able to put those pieces together. And so that's really cool how quickly we can build up, okay, this needs to work like this and this and this based on previous experience with other RPGs. And so, yeah, I'm curious to see where it goes. I think it has all of the right pieces to have a potentially like surprisingly deep combat system in terms of micro positioning your units to be the right one at the right time, and charming enough to be playable at length. Let's just see. I just want to see where it goes.
Definitely agreed. Especially with the little bit more time in the oven, but it is so. What is the word I'm looking for here? Adorable is not the word I'm looking for here.
It's
the
charming. It's a charming
storybook
game.
kind of painterly. Yeah, exactly. Charming is actually probably the best way to describe it. But unfortunately, you'd already used that, and I'm a thesaurus. I must find a different way of explaining the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the kind of storybook painterly style to it is something that's very, very appealing, as well as the kind of framing of the device makes it. There's a very clear artistic direction that has been taken from the ground up, and it's present in all of the elements that we've interacted with so far. And that's another thing I particularly find interesting about it. Like, a lot of the time when you're playing indie games, you don't necessarily get sometimes you'll play an indie game that is very much mechanics forward, right? Not to say that this isn't necessarily mechanic forward in any way, but sometimes a game can feel like these are a bunch of really cool mechanics. And I really enjoy them, and it's really neat. But there's no universal overarching theme that joins them, and yet that exists thoroughly in this game. There's a link down in the description below if you'd like to wishlist it on Steam. Also linked in the description below, you'll be able to find links to the channel of my compatriot here, Sneaky Teak. You'll be able to find over on twitch.tv as well as...
Rhaps Teak.
Rhaps Teak, sorry. Also,
weirdly at twitch.tv/sneakyteak, but... we're working on that.
It's weird. That was a channel that we set up a very long time ago as a portmanteau between our names, and the Rhapsody channel as well as another portmanteau. We need to find a way to trade these out. But for the moment, my name is Rhapsody. His name. My name has been Sneaksity. His name has been Rhapsody. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next time.